Just rack off. That's what furious Australians are going to be saying to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after this astonishing leak has just proved that the couple have been lying about the security costs on next week's fake royal tour.
Australian viewers of the Mark Dolan show don't want to see Harry and Meghan. The reason why it went down well in 2018, Paul, is because the Australian public didn't know Meghan Markle very well. Well, they know her now. And what do they know her to be? A gold-digging grifter.
Why on earth should these two be given taxpayer-funded security in the first place? They are no longer working royals.
Australians don't want them there. They're not interested. And they've raised a petition in Australia to say, look, if they do come, free country, but if they do come, they're coming as private citizens. This is not a royal tour, and we do not want a single penny of Australian taxpayers' money spent on the police protecting the...
A growing wave of attention has been building online around a petition circulating in Australia, which reportedly has attracted tens of thousands of signatures. According to the publicchange.org listing, the petition reflects strong opinions from a segment of users regarding a planned visit linked to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. What started as a relatively small online page gradually gained traction over time, eventually reaching a much wider audience as it spread across social media platforms. As the number of signatures increased, so did the intensity of public discussion. Thousands of new entries were reportedly being added within short periods, showing how quickly online movements can gain momentum once they enter public conversation. While this surge may appear sudden, it is important to understand that online petitions often follow this kind of pattern, where visibility drives engagement rather than any confirmed coordinated action. The language used in the petition has been widely noticed for its direct and emotionally charged tone. However, this reflects the views of individuals who chose to sign it, not a verified or official stance from any institution or the broader population. Public reaction in situations like this is often mixed, and this case is no different. Some people expressed strong criticism, while others pushed back against those views, arguing that the reaction is exaggerated or not representative of the wider public. It is important to separate what is actually confirmed from what is interpretation.
The PR and the pomp and pageantry almost of being part of the royal family, but they don't really want any of the responsibility, do they? They like to turn up to events, have a few photos taken, look like the charming, lovely people that they wish to present themselves as, and then go home, then go back to California.
The only verified element in this situation is the existence of the petition itself and the fact that it has received significant attention online. Everything else surrounding motivation, intent, or meaning is part of public opinion and commentary, not established fact. Reports suggest that the petition began with relatively low engagement before gradually increasing in visibility. This kind of growth is not unusual in the digital space, where content can remain quiet for a period before being amplified through shares, discussions, or media coverage. While some observers describe this as a sudden surge, there is no confirmed evidence pointing to any organized effort behind it. It may simply reflect increased exposure over time. At this stage, no official government decision or policy response has been publicly confirmed in relation to the petition. In general, when matters involve public figures and travel or events, government departments often avoid detailed commentary, particularly when security or administrative matters are involved. This does not indicate approval or rejection, simply standard procedure in many public-facing institutions. To understand why this topic has drawn attention, it helps to look briefly at past public visits involving high-profile figures in Australia. Earlier appearances by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in the country were widely covered by the media and drew large public crowds. At the time, reception was generally positive and heavily focused on official engagements and public appearances. However, public sentiment is not fixed and can change over time depending on cultural context, media narratives, and ongoing public discussion. As conversations continue online, various media commentators and public voices have added their own interpretations of the situation. Some commentary has been strongly critical, while other perspectives highlight the couple's past involvement in charitable causes and public speaking on issues such as mental health and well-being. These viewpoints represent opinion and analysis and should not be treated as confirmed fact. What becomes clear in situations like this is that public perception can vary widely depending on who is speaking and what angle is being emphasized. Celebrity figures often sit at the center of broader debates that go beyond any single event, turning into larger discussions about media, influence, and public expectations. For now, what can be confirmed is that there is active online discussion, differing public opinions, and ongoing attention surrounding the topic. However, there is no single unified or officially confirmed narrative that defines the situation as a whole. Much of what circulates remains part of public conversation rather than established fact, and as this discussion continues to evolve, attention is beginning to shift toward upcoming events and public appearances connected to wellness and leadership discussions in Australia, which are also becoming part of the wider conversation. As attention around the Australian retreat continues to grow, another development begins to circulate online that quickly draws public interest. A well-known media reporter associated with 7 News reportedly purchased a full-price ticket to the event under standard customer conditions, paying around $2,699 Australian dollars without any form of media discount or special access. According to the account shared in reporting, she attended as a regular guest and later made additional requests, including clarification about accommodation arrangements and an official tax invoice. It was at this point, based on the report, that her status as a media professional was identified. Following that, her booking was reportedly refunded and her access revoked, with organizers stating that media participation was not permitted. However, what added complexity to the situation was the claim that no clear, publicly visible rule.
Now, these two are literally living a fantasy now. There's no royal visit. They don't even have a charity. This is all just a private money-making tour.
Outlined this restriction during the initial booking process. This raised questions among observers about consistency and transparency in how attendance policies were being communicated. While some defended the organizers' right to control access to private events, others questioned whether the rules had been clearly stated from the beginning. The journalist involved later documented her experience through official media channels, which brought additional attention to the situation and intensified public discussion around the retreat's structure and policies. At the same time, online commentary began shifting toward the evolving messaging around ticket availability. Earlier communications had suggested that the event was fully booked, with wording indicating that all available allocations had been exhausted. However, in later updates, new language appeared suggesting that a limited number of additional places had been released. This change did not go unnoticed. Online users and observers began comparing screenshots and archived versions of the booking page, pointing out differences in phrasing over time. Some interpreted this as normal ticketing adjustments, while others questioned whether demand had been accurately represented in earlier statements. At this stage, there is no confirmed evidence supporting either interpretation, and the situation remains based largely on public-facing updates rather than verified internal data. Further discussion emerged around accommodation arrangements and booking visibility at the venue. Some observers noted that certain dates appeared blocked or unavailable in the hotel's standard reservation system during the relevant period. While this is sometimes consistent with event partnerships or reserved allocations, no official breakdown of room usage or booking structure has been publicly released. As speculation increased, comparisons were drawn with other high-profile wellness events in Australia, where influencer-led retreats have also attracted attention and raised similar questions about exclusivity, pricing, and marketing language. However, each event operates under different commercial arrangements, and direct comparisons remain interpretive rather than factual. What is clear is that public curiosity around the structure of the retreat continues to grow, particularly regarding pricing tiers, accommodation arrangements, and access conditions. Reports describe a multi-tier ticket system with significant differences between standard and premium packages, including variations in room allocation and included experiences. This pricing structure has become part of the broader discussion, with some viewers expressing concern over affordability, while others argue that premium event pricing is common in celebrity-led or luxury wellness spaces. Both perspectives reflect opinion rather than objective fact, As the conversation expands, it begins to intersect with wider discussions about celebrity branding, media coverage, and public perception. Some commentators suggest that the visibility of high-profile figures naturally amplifies scrutiny, while others argue that public interest is driven by the scale and marketing of such events themselves. Alongside this, official responses from representatives connected to the visit have reiterated that arrangements are privately funded and that certain interpretations circulating online are not consistent with their stated position. However, public debate continues, largely because different sources and viewpoints emphasize different aspects of the same events. At this point, the narrative has evolved beyond a single petition or a single event. Instead, it has become a layered discussion involving media reporting, public reaction, pricing transparency, and differing interpretations of the same publicly available information. And as new details continue to circulate, one question remains central to the ongoing debate: how different perspectives shape the way this entire situation is understood, and whether further official clarification will be provided as the events approach.